Thanks. Let's see. Oh, wow. There's greatest nothing. There's generally like a sweep and then it goes the other way. So if you wait for the pivot, then that's kind of what yeah. So if it was gonna go a certain direction, it would generally go the opposite way first. So wherever those wicks are on the picture, it would go below the bottom wick and sweep all those lows before it goes up. And if it doesn't do that and it starts to go up first, then maybe it's going to short down to that. So you would wait for it to sweep those before you consider longing. Makes sense. What's up, Gar? Yo, what's up, Woke?
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,342.5.
Okay, we got 12 minutes to open. What type of news we got? Let's check it out. All right. Crude oil, an hour after open. Nothing else. Got some red folder tomorrow. Not really seeing much in terms of volume. We hit 391, pulled up on 410, pulled back on 309. So we hit about like 600 in sell side and 400 in buy side, pulled up. No volume just yet. Gonna go grab my chilled out coffee. I'll be back. All right, 8 minutes until open. Give me a sec. 23194. Not well, we had a previous like touch and go on a double volume imbalance on 1,000 tick, and then we just came up to the same touch and go zone that we rejected off of for the second time. Other than that, there's no like volume points of control or key levels from the past. It's just the initial London push down volume recovery. That ATOS like double imbalance fill touch and go was pretty clean. It was almost to the tick. Yeah, there's not really anything nearby that's like noteworthy in my opinion, and there's not really much volume right now, so it's kind of just like dead in the water. boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's just play a song to get things started.
I'm tired, but I'm wide awake. In darkness, I can see your face. When you're with me, there's no pain.
By the time this song stops, we'll be open, most likely.
A vision and you're gone again. And I don't know where you've gone. And you never told me what was wrong. And I know life will carry on, but I forget how to be strong when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. When the sun goes down.
Progressive trance. I don't know what is the type of stuff I would DJ back in the day.
When the sun goes down.
Break beats, I guess. Progressive breaks.
Don't know where you've gone, and you never told me what was wrong. And I know life will carry on, but I forget how to be strong when the sun goes down. 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 When the sun goes
Yeah, it does kind of. It was listed as the outro when I would stream with music. I would play this as I signed off. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that ever. Even if I look like Captain America at one point, I'll never do that. Please shoot me if I do that. Less than a minute. 30 seconds. We're back at a double volume point and control from July 15th and August 5th. Here we go in 15 seconds. It's also the current volume point and control, so they're chilling out from yesterday's volume point and control. Here we
Sweet
go.
PSU 5 CME sellers at 6,334.5.
Watch yourself. This looks like a buyer absorption to juke out the pre-market longs. I would wait for a sweep at the value area low or something. Or at least a little bit more sell side hit. Coming to the VWAP. There's some resting liquidity at 23,135. We got 200 lot at 63.20 on ES that could be hit. I wouldn't short this though. Like I'd be looking for like a sweep and then move into a long. Hit 500 in buy side here. We're breaking the pre-market value area high. Hitting a bunch of buyers up here. It's gonna fade them. Ooh, snap. Fake out, breakout.
Absorption ESU 5 CME sellers
Got
at
another added
63.35.
contract guy here. It's gonna go back on the absorption, perhaps. Oh, nice. Oh, you took a jab in the face, you mean, or you took a shot at it? We just hit a volume imbalance we created on the way down. If it comes back above the value area high, you could be going higher and sweeping all of this resting orders on the ES at 63.45. Buyers stepping back into control, perhaps. If it comes back below these guys, the buyers would be losing control feasibly. Comes below 206, you could short that. Okay. See where it goes. Buyer absorption. Could accelerate down to 170-ish, 180. We're back to a previous month mid and some previous volume point of control touches. So we could be just distributing to go down here. And that could have been your feint to the upside. And then now the true attack is to the downside. Boom. There you go. Nice short off the fade of the buyer absorption at the value area high. Booyah. Hopefully you all took that short. From 207 down to 164, that's like $40 points plus. We're back at the volume point of control. We already ripped through the volume imbalance we created. This looks like a FU candle to stop out the shorts that are trailing, hitting a lot of buyers so the absorption could continue. If it comes below the volume point of control, the short is still on. Needs to come below 170 for that to be true. This looks like a fake out breakout sweep of the highs with the short continuation to the 6320s on ES. And yeah, you got some resting orders down at 135 on NQ. Here we go. $377 in sell side swept below the volume point of control. Somebody just added some selling contracts, 53 at 158. This is concerning for a short to continue because that's definitely somebody adding to a short. So if it comes above this guy, I'd consider closing at 170. If it comes below, above 170, you could be testing some buy side squeeze on that seller there. And I'd be out. If it goes above and stays above 170, could be getting a FU candle. There we go. Oh. You're back at the VWAP. Looks like it would sweep the 150s. You got all of this resting orders down here. But it's just playing with this region. Again, I would
Absorption
make the
ESU5
hard line
CME
in the
buyers at
sand, like somewhere around the volume point of
6,330.5.
control at 170. Rewarding the sellers. The sellers are in control. Sweeparoos. $135 looks to be that pre-market zone of resting orders. It's just playing with, it's creating like an idiot box in this region. We're back at the double volume point of control at mid-July and yesterday, but we're kind of closing candles below it, so I don't know. Getting a lot of sellers' interest here in this region, which is concerning for a short. Yeah, I would be concerned. I would possibly close and use this as a seller absorption slingshot up now. Looks like the sellers didn't follow through. Again, that 170 was your clue, and then these characters not following through showed some seller fatigue potential. You're getting some 80 contract up at 186-ish. Looking to be swept up. Huh. Yep. It's gonna hit that 80 lot. Boop boop be doo. Let's go watch it get hit. Oh, they moved it up before it got hit. Where'd it go? Hey, where'd you go? That was nice. So we were telegraphing the short before it happened up here. When it came below this, we said buyer absorption. When it came above these guys, we said seller absorption. So, yeah. Accurate reads. Now hitting 500 buy side here, another 250. So you're hitting 1,000 in buy side here. This is squeezing the shorts. Squeeze-a-roo. Nice. Good on you if you caught that. Good job. Good to quit while you're ahead. If you get anything, low-hanging fruits, when you pick one, don't try to get three. Just be satisfied with one. Now we're pulling back on 400 in sell side with this pullback here, stopping out a lot of longs at the value area high. We had another sweep of the highs. That's a third hit to the high. Let's go see what we actually hit. We hit the volume point of control again for the 22nd and the 18th of July. Oh, nice. I think. This looks like a slingshot because you just swept up like 384 in sell side in this 2000 tick chart. So we stopped out a bunch of longs and induced a bunch of DCA shorts, and then they'll finish the jobs with a push up to sweep the highs one more time. I heard they're gonna do a toss for Mac, so I'll be interested to try out their Mac version. I'm afraid it'll like mess up my templates though, so I'm worried to switch completely, but here we go.
Absorption ESU 5 CME sellers at 6,338.25.
Sweep up to 63.45 on ES. You got resting orders up there and another at 63.50. Yes, sirree. Indeedly doodly. Okay. And yeah. Oh, the ticking noise is just a change in price action, a dramatic change on ES. Wow. Whew. We were almost late this morning having an early schedule, so I got to get a little bit more sleep tonight. This is my early bird week, and I hate being an early bird. The lesson went by pretty well, all things considered, but we got 2 more, and then we're done. Good stuff. Boop boop be doo, yay. So that was like a third sweep of the highs, and you're kind of going on a short run. Didn't get that thing off the previous day VWAP hit, but we got 2 of the reads, the shifts. We got both those shifts, which is good enough. Good enough. We're just kind of like ascending, channeling up. If you go to the 10-minute and you use a regression trend, we're just kind of going up. But yeah, the ticking noise is just on Bookmap. It's down here up at the percentile here is like how much the price change.
Sweep ESU5 CME sellers at 6,343.25. Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 63.43.
Didn't really have time to say anything about that. getting these buyers and these sellers. This is the interesting little battle here. Yeah. Come in below these buyers. If it comes below this sell lot 83 seller at 227, you could be getting buyer absorption. You hit about 400 in sell side, pulled up into 221. Now you're pulling back into 200 in sell side. So it's having these high rejection patterns.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 63.37.
We're at a previous month mid, so this is basically where we were from July. And you can kind of see it from the volume point of controls here. We're rejecting off of these. If you get above these key levels, then you're going to be going higher for some time. Needs to get above 234, all these volume nodes, for that to be true. But it's trying. Last 30 minutes has been like 3 hits to this. Okay. We got oil inventory in 30 minutes. That'll cause something. I won't be around for that time. I'll just stay with you for another 15. This could...
Sweep NQU 5 CME sellers at
Ooh, what did we trigger here? 109 sell
23,218.75.
lot at 220, and it's rewarding the seller. So this could be a rejection of the highs. Seller inbound recovery into value area high. You could short this down to the volume imbalance at 190. This rewarding of this 100 lot shows the seller stepping up. Do 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 do. You got 177 down at 63.20. If ES breaks down, that's where it could be going. It recovers pretty much everything that it does, so watch out on this level. You're getting lots of large sweeps to both sides, so take when you're getting paid, pay yourself. Don't ride into a negative. Okay. You could be punishing this sell lot here if it stays above 220. Somebody just added to their buy. Here we go. Sweep to the highs again. Buyers stepping up into control. Wow, this is pretty nasty. It's really trying to break these old volume points of control and turn.
Sweep and
Oh,
QU5
wow.
CME buyers at 23,234. Sweep ESU5 CME buyers at 63.40. Absorption ESU5
We just
CME
broke
sellers
up
at
above those
63.42.
volume nodes. That's what it was looking to break. Just grabbed about 900 in sell buy side there. Looks like we're headed up to 270 at least. Yeah, that would be above all these volume nodes. Here we go. If you're long trailed this guy at 245,
Absorption
it shouldn't go
ESU5
below
CME sellers at
245.75
63.45.
anymore if it's gonna remain long for the day. So you could basically rest easy at 245.75. And that would be
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at
July 17th volume point of
6,346.75.
control. So we should be leaving these volume points of
Sweep
control
and QU5
behind.
CME sellers at 23,268.75.
There was just a 128 seller that peeled off at the top there at 268.75. You could continue higher off that guy. They could squeeze that seller some more.
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at
Here we go.
6,348.25.
Next key level is in the 300s. You could use this 120 lot guy as the next trailing zone. There's another 77
Absorption
lot seller
ESU5
here.
CME sellers at 63.50.
So they could squeeze them some more. Use them as fuel to the upside. Either way, you could trail this guy. Looks like it's looking to go up and sweep these.
Sweep NQU5 CME sellers
wow,
at
a
23,280.5.
lot
Absorption
seller
NQU5 CME buyers at
at 280.
23,280.5.
Somebody was happy taking their profits there. It could get a pullback if that was a big player stepping out of the game, but it could drift. It does sell, like seller absorption drift, where it just keeps going into that. But I'd consider taking profits if it goes below 268. Just trail that guy. Because it'll pull back further if it goes. Yep, I'd be out there. Got about 428 sell side. So if it generates more sell side or finds support at this 268 character, then you could find this as a node to push up into the 300s. Comes above this 231 guy at 280, you could get a push to the 300s at that point. And it could go push the 300s. Be careful longing if you're not already in the long. Use discretion for these guys. Invalidated at 268. We'll be with you for another 5 minutes. I gotta work out and go to bed.
Sweep NQU5 CME
Wow, you
buyers
got
at 23,263.5. Absorption NQU5 CME sellers at 23,263.5.
Yeah, getting buyer absorption off that 124 lot. Yeah, you shouldn't be in a long. If it wasn't going to hold this seller area, then the long was off the table. Needed to hold above 280 for that to be true. Sellers now possibly getting buyer absorption off this guy, this 124 lot at 263. You could come all the way back to 245 now, feasibly. So, in terms of key levels, we're trying to turn these next nodes and this like previous rejection zone from yesterday into support, I guess. Yes, sirree. Well, hopefully you guys are all green for the day. There was a really good 2 pivots in the beginning, and then we caught the idea of like flipping long over here off the rejection of these sellers. Wait, hold up. Sorry, could you say that again? $23.29. So it was 290. It went up to 285 ish, but there was a bunch of resting orders. But yeah, like basically what it hit was a 200 lot seller. Like basically it hit 400 sell lots. So some whale sold the top basically, and then they didn't have any more interest, and it started rewarding the sellers at that point. So whoever took 231 at 280, they just did a massive short there, and then or sell their contracts, and then the draw disappeared. Yeah, there's been a lot of like fake out, fake out, fake out on all sides before it makes a move. Now you're hitting like massive amounts of sell side, so the sellers are stepping up to the plate here at the we're coming back into these volume nodes. Basically, as long as you have like key levels or those inflection points, you know where your idea loses its validity, and then you make that a hard line, and then that's where you pivot and consider switching or reversing. It helps to like shift your mindset to know you're out of like that mode. Now you're hitting massive amounts of sell side. If it comes above these like sellers here, you could be getting some like relaxation on the shorts, and at least you probably stopped out this guy, this buyer absorption character at 263, just got sold at the bottom there. Until it comes above 232, like, don't try to catch a falling knife. What do we have? We just got all of these volume nodes again.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 63.38.
We got that volume imbalance down at 190. What is ES doing? A VP per candle on my chart, now that I think about it. Volume. All right, I gotta get going, so hopefully you guys are green. Lock it in if you are, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay positive, and stay frugal, and we'll catch